Alright, welcome back to the channel everyone, as I take you on an unforgettable journey on board P&O Cruises' newest and greatest ship, Arvia. Over 13 nights we cruised through the enchanting Mediterranean on the search for some much needed winter sun. From the bustling streets of Barcelona to the vibrant vistas of Valencia, each stop brought its own unique charm and sense of adventure. From indulging in the ship's mouth-watering food to exploring these ancient Mediterranean lands, this adventure has them all. And the best part, you get to come along too. So join me in Southampton as we embark on adventure. We start our adventure where every cruise begins, the embarkation. Returning to the ocean cruise terminal always stirs up feelings of anticipation and excitement for the adventure that lies ahead. We had plenty of chance to admire the mighty Arvia with a later embarkation time than usual. And trust me, those minutes spent waiting felt like an eternity. Navigating through the cruise terminal was a breeze, thanks to the friendly staff who guided us to the check-in desks. Despite some minor hiccups on my part, the staff were quickly able to resolve these issues, allowing us to sail straight through. Stepping on board Arvia, I was welcomed by the warm smiles of the crew and the familiar, elegant ambience of the ship's atrium. Now this time we weren't required to go straight to our muster stations, as they were going to do things a little bit differently on this cruise. But more about that later, because for now, there's a much more pressing issue at hand. You know, it's true what they say. Food is the heart and soul of any cruise. If there's one thing that can make or break a cruise, it's definitely the culinary experience. With memories of some outstanding dishes last time I was on Arvia, my expectations and excitement were set to an all-time high. Of course, with any cruise, it's important to pace yourself, so it was up to the buffet, where the smell of a delicious curry lured me in, with some vegetables on the side to keep my health in check. Perhaps a little in vain, as I had to have a peek and sample these delicious desserts. Let it be known that Arvia can definitely satisfy your sweet tooth with a good and delicious selection to choose from. Now if you want to see what the food is like on Arvia, then don't worry, you'll be seeing plenty of it throughout this series. But for now, I should best get moving, because if not, I think I might eat all of the supplies before we even set sail. Now with my appetite satisfied for now, it was time to explore our floating home for the next 13 nights, starting from the back. One of my favourite parts of the ship. 2 infinity pools to relax by, with the panoramic backdrop of either the calming wake or bustling port Arvia is visiting. And when you're done relaxing and need a little bit of action, the mini golf course is there for you to putt to your heart's content. Make sure to check back later in this series as I put my golfing skills to the test and perhaps get a hole-in-one. And there's so much more to see and do on Arvia, but sadly we're going to have to cut this tour a bit short because something else needs to be done. Every cruise has a mandatory muster drill, which informs passengers what to do in the event of an emergency, and Arvia is no exception to this. However, we were notified before boarding that Arvia would be carrying out an enhanced safety drill. So this basically resulted in over 5,000 passengers trying to find their way to their muster station at the same time. And honestly, it was a bit of a shambles. So my assigned muster station was in the atrium, and it was an area filled with people not really knowing what to do. There was people shouting out their letters to try and get people to go there, but honestly no one really knew what they should be doing or where they should be going. It had a very chaotic and sort of disorganised feel to it, a far cry from the procedures we've seen on previous cruises. But enough about all that. We all managed to get our safety briefing, and with that now out of the way, you know it's not going to be long until our first sail away. So I remember there was a gap between the muster drill and when we were sailing away from Southampton, and the weather outside was pretty horrible. It was pretty cold, it was pretty wet, so we decided to sit inside, and we decided to sit in the clubhouse because it was fairly close to outside. We can quickly jump out when we sail away to get other shots and stuff. And I remember being sat in the clubhouse, and I looked up to the entrance as to like where you'd come in, and there was just like this whole sea of like mums and children just like walking in. I remember going, what's going on here? That's a bit weird. And I remember then I looked up because they had all these TVs around the clubhouse, and in unison they all changed at the same time, and then they all came up and it said family disco. And I remember feeling really weird. I remember thinking, we just got to go, this is a bit weird, so we left. Anyway, yeah, after that awkwardness, it wasn't too long till we were ready to set sail from Southampton. Although the weather did try and keep us firmly planted on Southampton dock, but I'll let the captain explain this one to you.
So at the present time, we are lying alongside our berth and awaiting the arrival of a second tug that will assist in manoeuvring us this evening. For those of you with a view out on the open deck, you'll see that the wind has gusted up significantly in the late afternoon, and there is rain showers.
As the port of Southampton slowly faded behind us, Arvia glided gracefully through the waves, with the endless horizon promising endless possibilities. I knew at that point this was going to be a good cruise. So one of the undeniable truths about cruising is that the constant promise of food leaves you perpetually hungry, as if the ship's culinary magic casts a spell on you, making you always ready for your next meal. So with that in mind, it was time to find somewhere to eat for this evening. We did originally consider going to Arvia's American diner at sea, but this was incredibly popular and busy. But that didn't matter, because the Olive Grove had availability, and we were more than happy to eat there. So on Arvia, you can use the My Holiday site to join a virtual queue from anywhere on the ship using their free Wi-Fi. This will then notify you on your phone when your table is ready, so you can head down, saving your need to standing long queues and enjoy more of what Arvia has to offer. As we settled into our seats, I couldn't help but reminisce about the delicious seafood chicken and chorizo bomba rice I had last time I was here. The flavours were so rich and satisfying that I was eager to savour another bite. And their water. I don't know what it is, but nothing beats cruise ship water. So for starters, I had a delicious pan-fried king prawn dish, teasing my palate with garlic and chilli. I was delighted to see my seafood chicken and chorizo bomba rice on the menu, and believe me when I say that I chose that one in a heartbeat. My expectations were sky high for this one, and while the dish was very nice, it wasn't the rich creamy delight I had hoped for. Of course, no meal is complete without dessert, and the Olive Grove did not disappoint. I chose a beautiful, delicious fig, almond and olive oil cake that rounded off the meal and evening perfectly with a sweet treat. With our bellies full for now, I couldn't help but wonder what other delicious dishes we'd be eating on this cruise. Arvia offers so many choices when it comes to food, with many included in your cruise fare. So make sure to sample them all to get the most out of your cruise adventure. As our first day on board Arvia comes to a close, it's clear to see that this is shaping up to be an unforgettable adventure. From the excitement of setting eyes on the ship to the culinary delights of the olive grove, every moment has been filled with joy and anticipation. But this is only the beginning. There are so many more experiences to share of this 13-night adventure, from the vibrant Mediterranean ports to indulging in more mouth-watering meals. The ship itself has countless activities and hidden gems waiting to be discovered. And I can't wait to bring you on this adventure. In the next video, we will be enjoying our first full day on board Arvia, taking advantage of the entertainment on board, and of course sampling plenty more delicious food that tempt the taste buds. So stay tuned and join me for this amazing adventure. And until next time, happy cruising.